All life forms have one essential purpose: survival. This is even more important than reproduction, some would argue. But what is reproduction if not one form of survival? It is dogma. Primal purpose of life is to expand, but it is not the objective, it's just biology interprets it this way. The essential difference between the living and non-living is the urge for preservation. Life finds the way, be it mold on the loaf of bread or a sprout in the field. Fight for food and shelter, one with higher survival chances, prevails. Fundamentally, life is the property of a complex network of biochemical reactions to interact with the environment and metabolize energy at the end to reproduce itself. Alien body discovered under the Antarctic ice by members of Norwegian research station Thule in 1982 introduced us to extremely unique life form. Creature was found near the spaceship, which tells us we were dealing with extraterrestrial organism. Taking closer look at the creature as much as it is possible, we see obvious outlines of an insect. Quite a big specimen and very tough, I emphasize. Specimen survived for very long period under freezing condition, saving its physical characteristics, also the energy, and after the discovery was able to escape its ice enclosure with ease, Earth's atmosphere posing no threat either. Uniqueness of this creature is hidden in its metabolism, a life-sustaining chemical reactions of the organism not only to survive freezing conditions on an alien planet, but to be able to mimic other organisms, as we soon discover. To mimic organisms of completely different cellular type, in our case mammals, to copy an alien organism not only visually but on a cellular level, this is beyond imagining. Perfect assimilation, ability to copy another life form in a matter of minutes with flawless result, keeping all the perks like agility, intellect, cunningness, etc. And sadly, copying also targets disadvantages, but without losing its base, malignant purpose, surviving. With a question mark, of course, a perfect organism, I would say. Obviously, creature was of a carbon life form, but is it result of a perfect evolution? Chances for organism to evolve this way is on a level impossible. Life evolves through random mutations in the genes. Some of these mutations, once expressed in the organism, may be beneficial to its survival, while others will not. The vast majority of mutations are very bad, but eventually mutations lead to selective advantages: faster, stronger, smarter. Organism is a result of billions of years of evolution in a complex changing environment. To evolve to the extent of capability of mimicking alien organisms on a cellular level by random mutations is impossible. This organism is too perfect to be a result of a natural evolution. Uniqueness of the creature to cell imitation of other organisms is the main prerequisite of the creature. It had special organ, amniotic sac, doing copying after devouring the target. Copying other organisms is relatively fast cycle. Physical appearance of the thing was still its insect form. Before dying, it managed to spread its cells with its advanced replication ability without losing its main task: spread, infiltrate, adapt, survive. And surviving was the challenge. Mimic wasn't dealing with primitive creatures, but rather with intellectually capable individuals. It is quite a challenge to fool those future targets. You have to copy every behavioral aspect, adapt, and learn. Insectoid was found outside the ship. Why was it outside the ship? We can of course only speculate on this matter. Important is creature's appearance. While by the looks of it, it is hard to determine if it had any signs of advanced intelligence. Instead, it looked aggressively formidable. But intelligence is the most important factor in determining advantage of the species, and natural defense capabilities help to compensate for lower intellectual ability. Intellectually advanced species do not need claws or fangs or similar traits to define the advantage. Intellect is the superiority. So observing the creature, we conclude this creature was not the owner of the alien ship, rather a passenger, or maybe a specimen of a bioweapon. As it was mentioned earlier, creature was insect-like, and judging the appearance, how would it operate the ship? No hands, no signs of telepathy. Seems like ship started on an automated protocol and creature knew it. That knowledge was saved on a cellular level, back when it was in its insect form, and we were never introduced to the true creators of the creature. I obviously described interpretation of the creature from prologue. Original movie from 1982 presented us something our imagination had to finish, even though the creator's idea was to show us something dreadful and disturbing. Gaps regarding the creature we had to fill by ourselves. And here comes the bitter part that doesn't fit my explanation. Why the thing was trying to build a ship. Clearly, creature was trying to escape its situation, freezing environment, threat of extermination, obvious signs of self-preservation, aim to spread itself, and so on. If this organism is so advanced and civilized to build spaceships, then why it had to be so violent and invasive? If we go forward to explain this ship under construction, our protagonists found under the hut, then only explanation is once again malignant cells. They must be programmed, and such complicated superiority cannot be done by random evolution. When assimilation happens, creature exploits all possible positive characteristics of assimilated organism, and last but not least, the intellect part. Something tells me creature, in quotation marks, intelligence, was constricted behind what seems to be cellular programming. Organism had a strict aim and no negotiations in mind, despite I mentioned before about the cunningness inherited from assimilated organisms. What else to say? Staying alive has never been an easy job, especially when you are dealing with indigenous species that understand all the threats invasive alien organism poses.